So I'm making some doors here that have a splayed mould on them. Our usual setup that I scribe on the tenoners for and everything is ovalo. This big old fella behind us here is a Haige. I'm not sure if I've ever shown this one off or not, but it hasn't been in operation for some years because I've got a motor up the back here that runs, I think it's the top head. Every time I try and turn it on, it trips my circuit breaker, so it hasn't been used, probably 10 years now, but it's a brilliant machine. It's only a 3-header, but it was set up to do the scribe for splayed mould. Now, I've got some doors to do, as I said, that's splayed mould, and I've done the tenoning on my other tenoner here, but I've just done square shoulders. And I just thought that I might muck around with this and set the scribe up so that I can scribe on this machine. Otherwise I'm going to have to scribe it all by hand, which takes me obviously 10 times as long. And the finished product is not as good as if I can get it done on this. So I just thought I might film what I'm doing here with it and just show the end results. So this is the scriber here, and this is my tenon. So what I have to do at the moment is just wind this up so that I'm touching the underside of my tenon here, and we might just give it a go at that and just see how it turns out. So I'm just going to give it a quick test and we'll see how it goes. So what I have to do now is, this shoulder is not even with that shoulder, so I've got the cutter's been adjusted in way too deep. So I'm just going to muck around with that now. I won't bother, I may or may not film that, we'll see how we go. Won't be very interesting, I don't think, but I might leave the camera rolling and we'll see. So we're just going to do test number 2 and see how we go. So if that's focused, it still looks like it's dubbing that leading edge off, which is a big problem. I don't ever remember that happening before, so I'm not sure what's going on there. I might but it is a problem though, because what will happen is when I put my door together, because that's dubbed off on that edge, it's going to leave a gap on the joint that's going to have to be filled, and that's not good. So I have a small problem here. So what's happening is the edge here is being dubbed off. Now I couldn't understand what was going on here. I thought maybe my other tenoner must have been cutting it out square, but it's not. What's actually happening is somehow something must have moved on this machine, because on this part here, on this shoulder, the nut that holds the scribing cutter in place is actually hitting that shoulder and just dubbing it off, so knocking it out of square. So when the rail goes up, it's in actual fact what's happened is, if you can see, I don't know whether you'll be able to see that, but it's short. So it's knocked a couple of mils almost off it. So anyway, So what I'm doing now is I'm fixing the scribing cutter. So I'm just going to trace the shape of where it is because I want it to be at the same angle. So I've just, no, it's not going to focus, sorry. So I've literally just traced it on here, so because I'm going to have to undo these now so that I can move that up. So I just want to push it out a few mil. Because as it was coming around, this nut was hitting the shoulder. It might be easier said than done. Just about there is where I want it. So that cutter's not quite the same shape, so I'm going to sit it back just a bit. If you can see there, I've got it set back a bit. Don't want that mucking up my scribe. So we'll just do a take two now and we'll see how that goes. I'm not sure if you could see it or not because it wasn't wanting to focus, but that's what I used. Yeah, as I said before, the cutters weren't the same shape, so I've set one back just a bit, and we'll see how that goes. It'll be fine being set back. It just means that one cutter's doing all the work, so obviously it's going to get blunt quicker. Anyway, we'll give it another test and we'll see. I just have to wind the scriber back now to account for the extra bits that I brought it forward. Okay, so that should do us. Folks, this is why I have 4 Tenoners. And this is just setting up the scribing cut. So you can see the time involved and the mucking around. Can you imagine what it would have been like if I was setting up both top and bottom head, top and bottom scribe? So as I said, that's why I have 4 tenoners. I set the machines up once to do the particular job. They're left set, so then I'm not wasting, you know, hours of time whenever I have to do a different profile or a different size. And we're done. Exactly how it should have been from the start.